Japan is your favorite team. What was it like watching them?
Japan's my favorite team.
Okay, well, Japan is your favorite country. That's where you want to go.
That's not my favorite country.
What's your favorite country?
America.
America's your favorite country. All right, it is time for episode 2, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Charlie. Okay, so you are another one of our baseball kids. Love baseball. Been playing for a little time. I've got some awesome Charlie videos of like T-ball Charlie. And you had you were great. You had this huge leg kick and this wind. What's your favorite thing to play in baseball?
I like defense.
Okay. In defense specifically, what's your favorite position?
Pitcher and outfield.
Pitcher and outfield? Okay. So often do you get nervous when you pitch?
I would say not that much.
Why don't you think you get nervous? You see people pitching all the time and they get real nervous. They get real worried about it. Why don't you get nervous?
'Cause I've done it like so much. It's like kind of a habit to just get out there and
That's really good.
throw.
So the more that you do it, the more comfortable that you get with it, and you just
Yeah.
feel like do you feel confident that you're going to throw a strike too?
Yeah.
What's it like having a good catcher back there?
You can feel confident to throw like other pitches like curveballs and stuff because you have the confidence that they're gonna like stop it.
It's good.
So like you don't have to be worried about wild pitches.
That's
If
good.
you have good catchers though, if you don't have good catchers, gotta be careful.
So one of the things I want to show, right? So this is such a basic thing. Let me just preface this. Like, I'm not a baseball expert. We just love playing baseball. We learn a lot. We're trying to learn. But some of the basic fundamental things are just really, really important when it comes to baseball. One of them is the grip, how you grip a baseball, right? One of the first things I do in practice, I just watch how the kid grips a ball. And when they're throwing it, we want them to grip it like a four-seam fastball, right? Okay, so when I say I want you to grip it like a four-seam fastball, what am I talking about? Go ahead and tell us, too.
Like, there's a C right here on the seams, and
Yeah.
you want to grab 2 of your fingers and put them up here, and then just kind of like grip the ball like around it. I can't really explain how, but this is how you grip it. And if you're a lefty, it would just be the exact opposite, and you grip it with your left hand, obviously.
When you're gripping it here, you throw, it comes off your fingers at the same time, and what it's going to do is it's going to keep the ball spinning backwards. They call it a four seam because you see the four seams, right? Right here, 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 and here. You see them rotating like this. And when it gets backspin, it's stable. Because when kids are playing catch or they're throwing, you want it to go straight. You don't want a lot of movement on it. Because what happens when there's a lot of movement on it?
It's hard to catch it.
It's hard to catch it. And that's not good for anybody, right? And then you get kids getting hit in the face. And you get all kinds of stuff. So this is one thing I do. I tell the kids, get a baseball, go home, throw it up in the air, grip it, and go to your four-seam grip. Just natural.
You
Go
can
ahead. What are you
wrap.
saying?
You can wrap tape around it, and when you throw it, if the tape is like all going crazy, you're not throwing it right. And if it's like just in a straight line spinning, then
Excellent.
you're throwing
So
it
what
right.
you're talking about is you're talking about putting a piece of tape long ways around it. And you throw it, that line, or you can even take a Sharpie and draw it. You'll see that line going like this, but if it's going all wonky, it means you're not throwing it right, right? That four-seam grip, this is just basics. And when I work with pitchers, if they can grip that correctly and throw that and locate it, that's the start. Because a lot of kids will get out there and like, I throw 7 pitches. It's like, okay, how many of them can you throw for strikes? None. Okay, well, you have 0 pitches. So you talked about your curveball. One of the things that's really controversial, right? This is just how we do it in our family, is we delay the curveball. Because you're young, we want you to grow. Because we know that put extra strain on your elbow. Why don't you show us your curveball?
So it's like right along these seams right here. You want to put your thumb on the inside of this seam, and then right here, sometimes I'll do one inside, one outside. Sometimes I'll do both on the inside of the seam, sometimes on the seam. And then pretty much you're just throwing it like a normal fastball. But when you're throwing it, it's like you're like whipping down.
And what does your curveball do when you throw it?
Drops.
It drops, right? So your normal fastball, because it's got backspin, will come in like this. Yours gets a little topspin, and it'll look like it, and then it'll drop. Sometimes it drops more than others. What happens if it doesn't drop?
Dinger.
Dinger. Now, do you change any of your mechanics when you're throwing it, or is it really just the grip?
I think it's just the grip. I don't really change my mechanics to throw it at all. I throw it the exact same way I'm throwing my other fastballs, and just try and you have to aim down the middle. Like you don't want to aim high and then try and bring it down because
Good.
that's where you mess up and they hit dingers.
Didn't get it. The 1-2 is deep in the left field, and J.D. Martinez.
Look at that. We went a deep dive into pitching mechanics. Awesome job. That was good. That was good. I enjoyed that. All right, it's time for the grid.
The grid.
Are you ready for the grid? So we got this idea from Jomboy. I love the content, not quite family-friendly, so we're doing a family-friendly version of the grid. Okay, so I'm going to pop the grid up there so you guys can see it. We have on our top row, we got the Colorado Rockies and the Detroit Tigers. And on our other row, we have shortstop and we have Cubs. Which one do you want to start with?
Cubs and Rockies.
Okay, who's the player that played on the Cubs and the Rockies?
Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant. Now, when he came out for the Cubs, he was a superstar. And I think the Cubs thought they were going to keep him, but they went through the thing where they just got rid of Rizzo and Bryant and a lot of those guys that were on that team.
After they won a World Series as well.
No.
Why didn't they keep it?
Great question. If you're a Cubs fan, let us know. All right, what's next? What else you got?
Let's go a Rocky shortstop.
Rocky shortstop. Who is a shortstop for the Rockies, current or past?
A past shortstop for the Rockies is Trevor Story. Now he's on the Red Sox.
Trevor Story. I like Trevor Story.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's got a lot of hustle. But when he went to the Red Sox last year, what position did he play?
I'm pretty sure second base, right?
Right, because who was at short?
Xander Bogaerts.
And now Xander Bogaerts.
He's on the Padres.
And if you haven't seen the Padres City Connect uniforms, now you've got shortstop for the Tigers and someone who played for the Cubs and the Tigers.
Cubs and Tigers.
Okay.
Javier Baez.
Javi Baez, okay. So now he's one of the ones that were in that Cubs fire sale, right?
Yes.
We actually got to see Javi Baez play. We went to Washington, D.C. when the Nationals played the Cubs, and Baez was out there. He's actually playing better as of late, but he got benched. Remember he got benched?
Yes. No hustle.
No, he had a talk in the tunnel with his manager. Last one you got shortstop for the Tigers, which could also be Javi Baez, right?
It could, but we already said that.
We're gonna go better than that.
Yeah.
Let's go who?
So I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Alan Trammell.
Alan Trammell. Look at that. That is deep baseball knowledge right there. Alan Trammell, I think, played when I was a kid. And so, just shortstop for the Tigers. I don't know if he made it to the Hall of Fame, but he was close. He might be a Hall of Famer. I'll have to check that out. But look at that. Killing it.
Forgive me if I didn't say his name right.
You did. Alan Trammell is right. Well, man, thanks for doing this episode. This was a lot of good stuff. We got a ton of good stuff. I might have to break this into 2 episodes because you talk so much about pitching, but really helpful stuff, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See ya.